The now viral TikTok filter adds wrinkles and even jowls to create an older version of a user's face. 11 million videos have been made using this filter, but there is controversy as to how accurate this filter really is. I'll take a look at some of the popular TikToks and let you know by how much the filter has aged the person. Before we get into my thoughts on this filter, let's cover the different ways in which we age. There are two main ways that we age. One is volume loss. So there's loss of volume in our skin, in our muscle, and in our bones over time. And what that does is that it essentially deflates the tissues. Our tissues weaken over time, and the tissues just basically become less robust. And that leads to different signs of aging, where there isn't that same fullness or plumpness in our face as we used to have. Also, there are different bony structures that deteriorate over time, so that might make our eye sockets look bigger. It might also lead to the bone of our jaws looking different. On the other hand, you have the effects of gravity. That is the second way in which we age. Gravity, as we are all affected by, leads to tissues dropping, for weakening of some of the ligaments in our face, and just an overall sagging of the tissues. And that's why you sometimes see jowls forming, the neck getting more lax, but also the cheeks starting to drop down. And on the lateral aspect, our temple dropping leads to the lateral aspect of the eyebrows also coming down. So you have these two critical forces, gravity and volume depletion, that really is what mainly drives aging of the face. Now let's see how well this filter did in recreating those effects. In Kylie's case, the forehead is actually getting a bit taller. The hair is getting grayer, not just on the head, but also the eyebrows, which is interesting. The filter is giving her some more hollowing under the eyes, and the nasolabial folds are again getting deeper. Philtrum is getting longer, nose is getting bigger, and she's not getting a whole lot of jowling here. So it could be the angle with which she's, taking this video. But you can see how as the area under the eyes deepens, she starts to look more tired. She also is getting a bit more of the crow's feet that are coming in, and these nasolabial folds are now much more pronounced. So that gives that whole mid face to the lower part of the upper face a bit more of that aged appearance. In the filter, Kylie looks like she's about 45 years old. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. So what they're doing to Kim's face is you can see the hair getting a bit grayer. You can also see that between the eyebrows, which is the glabellar area, the filter is giving her some more wrinkles, or we call them rhytids. And what else? It's almost like enlarging the size of her nose, and it's definitely creating some more kind of wrinkling around the chin and jowl area. And it's of course deepening her nasolabial folds, and that's something that happens over time as the cheeks start to move down and medial. So they go from staying up here to dropping down and coming in towards the center of the face. So that's what's going to lead to increased nasolabial folds. And her philtrum, interesting, this is kind of nice that the filter is doing this. It's lengthening her philtrum, so the area between her base of nose and her cupid's bow is getting longer. And we of course address that with a lip lift surgery, but that is what I'm seeing here as well. And the whole nose is, the tip of the nose getting bigger and it's drooping more. So those are some of the main changes. I don't see too many changes around the eyes. Yeah, those are some of the main changes that I'm seeing with Kim. In this filter, Kim looks like she's about 50 years old. So the changes here are that there's a lot more wrinkling and sagging going on. You can see it in the forehead. You can also see it around the eyes. So there's more hooding now of the upper eyelid, and that's extending down all the way lateral. The under eye area is also more wrinkled. wrinkled. There's also some pseudo herniation, it looks like, of the fat, so it makes the under eye stand out as being more aged. The nose again has gotten bigger, to some degree. It does lengthen, get a little bit more droopy over time as we age. Nasolabial folds again have deepened, and now the marionette lines are more prominent as well. So those are some of the main changes I'm seeing here. Yeah, notice also that the upper eyelids have the hooding, but then you can see there's almost like an orbital depression here, because again, it's not just that we lose fat in the area here, but also the bone starts to thin out, so it makes the eye socket bigger. So that's what gives it that hollowing over time. Grandma looks like she's about 80 years old in this filter. Pretty amazing. They're showing these changes also in dynamic mode too, right? Not just in a still kind of way, but as people are animating and moving around, the filter follows them. And yeah, that's impressive how natural it looks. I mean, I don't know, she doesn't look 65. She says what I'll look like at 65 to see his reaction. I don't know. I don't think the filter's making her look 65 at all here. Maybe it's giving her an extra 5 to 10 years, but not much more than that. There isn't much happening other than the change of hair color to her upper face. Maybe the upper lids are, nope, upper eyelids look about the same. Yeah, it's really just deepening her nasolabial folds. Yeah, the philtrum is staying about the same. The nose isn't really changing a whole lot. The eyes look similar. It's really just the nasolabial folds and maybe some under eye hollowing. Yeah, a little under eye hollowing. With the filter in place, she's looking like she's maybe in her early 40s. I would say definitely not in her 60s as the TikTok implies. The filter is making this lady look like she's about 40 years old. Now he's looking 60. He is definitely looking 60 plus here. So, okay, let's watch this through. He doesn't seem too happy with this. So it's also, I think, the facial expression that's not helping here, but the hair is definitely getting grayer. There's more recession and thinning of the frontal scalp hairs. There's a lot more of this vertical dimension. I guess they're trying to show recession in a more kind of natural way. So there's more height to his forehead. There are many more wrinkles along the forehead. The area between the eyebrows where the glabellar lines are much more pronounced. And the eyebrows look more tautic now, like they've started to descend. And the areas under the eyes also, you have like these kind of pseudo herniated fat bags appearing. So that is very obvious here. The nasolabial folds have become very prominent, and he's getting a little bit more fullness in that lower face as well as everything falls. So I think the app here is being quite accurate for how things might look. But again, this isn't him in 10, 15 years. This is probably him, if I had to guess, maybe 30 years plus off. So, it seems like the app for some people makes them look like 5 years or 10 years older, and for other people, it's making them look 30 years plus older. This gentleman looks like he's about 65 years old. In this one here, again, the hair is getting thinner, it's getting grayer. The same goes for not just the scalp hair, but the eyebrows as well. Around the eyes, you can see that the infrabrow area is getting more thin. Under the eyes, there's this loss of transition between the lower eyelid into the cheeks, right? And then the cheeks are also dropping down. That's causing the nasolabial folds to get deeper. The nose also now looks a bit more robust. The lips look more thinned out, and that's something I haven't seen as much of in the other TikToks, but in this one, it's doing a pretty good job of that. And there's just less regularity to the skin of the chin as well. So those are some of the main changes here. In the filter, she looks like she's about 60 years old. Well, yeah, this does not bring out my best attributes, but what I see here is that it's deepening my glabellar lines. It's making the eyes look really hollow. I mean, I already have under eye hollowing, and it's really bringing that out, and it's making me want to get some fat transfer to fill in that area. And yeah, the nasolabial folds are getting more pronounced. Nose is getting bigger. Philtrum is getting a little bit longer. The marionette lines are also more pronounced, but it's really the area around the eyes that is looking pretty pretty darn bad. I'd put myself with this filter at like, I don't know, I'm hoping like age 55, I think is what I look like here, but hopefully this doesn't happen any sooner than that. How do you feel about getting older? Are you afraid of it? Do you embrace it? Should we fight it or should we just let it happen? Let me know in the comments below.